Alright, here's a quick video on the making of Grease Lightning. I was commissioned to build this car for a local theater. We ended up finding a 1947 Plymouth. In the movie it was a 48 Ford. The tapes where I was marking the top before I made the cuts. Just wanted to mark it out so I had a guideline of where to cut it. There it is once we got the top off. Top came off pretty easy. Wasn't too hard. Everything cut and went smooth. It's my friend Ed. He helped me out through the entire project. The car was too high because it didn't have a motor or transmission, so we ended up cutting the coils to get it lowered. And it turned out to be a perfect ride height once we got it. Now I'm starting the metal work. Once you top the top, chopping the top of a normal car, which I've done a lot, the pieces, if you put the top back, all the pieces of metal work basically there, you just rework them. But with this, all the pieces were missing, so I had to hand form all these parts that had the little seam in it, and it turned out to be a pain in the ass. We had about a 3-week turnaround on this car, so it was pretty quick, and 3 weeks being mostly weekends. So it was mostly, I spent most of the time doing metal work. And this car, they bought this car, that's the platforms are for the dancers basically dance on, so we took the hood and the trunk off and we just left that for the dancers to be able to move around, jump around on. And that bumper is basically a step for them to hop up on the hood. We didn't want real working headlights, they would have been too bright for the audience, so we ended up putting a parking bulb. I just drilled it out with a hole saw and got that. We're going to prep for paint here. And again, it was just primer. It had to be rough. It didn't have to be smooth paint job. They wanted it to kind of look like a rough car, but I get to keep this car when it's done. So they bought this car for me, and then they paid me to work on it. So I tried to get as much metal work done for myself for later, so it's done. So I was trying to get it all finished, but I didn't get it all done, but I got enough of it. Here we are putting the graphics on it. But overall, it came out great for a prop, for what it was used for. It came out good. Like I say, this was on its way to the theater. At the theater. So now I have a car, and I've got some money to continue on the buggy project. So the next video you see should be probably the dune buggy, probably. But I have another project I started too that I worked on, so there might be another video before that. But